Stand proud.
You want to know the best thing about XCOM 2's expansion War of the Chosen? It's the way it breathes new life into the game. Don't get me wrong, XCOM 2 is great. I loved it when it first came out and I've played it on and off ever since, but I never finished it until I got War of the Chosen. There was a simple reason for that. I got bored. The procedurally generated maps in XCOM 2's base game eventually become tiresome. I'd find myself enjoying an early game, when each mission felt like it was life or death. Each consequence meant something, and each map showed me something new. As the game goes on, however, I just despaired when it had to do retaliation or a guerrilla ops mission, because I didn't care about it. I'd done it all before, I just wanted something different. War of the Chosen practically adds as many new features to XCOM 2 as XCOM 2 did from XCOM Enemy Unknown. How many times can you say XCOM in one sentence? Missions feel new, different and challenging again. You have sit reps that add a modifier to each mission. Maybe it's full of explosive barrels or there's loads of one particular enemy. There's new locations, sewers and rundown cities that make a nice change from shiny Advent cities and woods. There's new mission types like hunting down and assassinating a single commander, or saving resistance contacts as they hold off a lost horde. A new relentless enemy type that are essentially akin to zombies. All of this and the stars of the show can appear randomly on any mission you take to make things that much more difficult. This means every mission has a potential for much bigger consequences than you were led to believe before. And the fact that late game missions weren't that consequential was one of the reasons I found them to be such a grind. The Chosen make the enemy a bit more human, and while they're a little cliched, they still turn the faceless unknown enemy into something more real and relatable. This is also true for the new class of troops you can recruit, one of which is the Skirmisher, ex-humans who have been altered genetically by Advent into troopers and broken free of their bonds. These guys show a human side to all the carnage the alien overlords have wrought, and is seen in the way the Reapers initially despise them. These interactions give us an insight into how Advent has really affected the world and the people in it, something we rarely saw outside of Resistance fighters before. These new characters force you to make choices and force you not to sit down on your ass all game beefing up, doing missions and picking away at the main objectives. They add another dimension to the story, and give you so many options on the battlefield that you invariably have more interesting strategic choices to make. It's just another way that the expansion tackles the boredom that you might get in doing the same mission over and over again. If you've got more options strategically in them with different types of troop classes, it's more interesting to play. You can approach a mission that might look exactly the same on paper as another one in a completely new way, something that was difficult to do before with the options you had. There's more variety in the overworld as well. Do you hunt down the Chosen, spending vital time and resources trying to stop them? Do you bear with them invading your missions and push on with your primary goal? Do you get that extra bit of intel from the Templars in the Resistance Ring? Or do you do more Reaper missions in the hope of upping your relationship with them to get more powerful commands at the end of the month? Ultimately, you haven't got enough time to do it all. The game forces you to choose. On top of this, the game adds tons of tweaks to add that bit more depth to the experience. For example, your troops get tired now, meaning they'll have negative traits if you keep throwing them into battle without a rest. It's another way of giving you the illusion you're commanding actual humans this time round. This simple change means you can no longer use the same squad over and over. You have to use all the bodies you have at your disposal, and you have to spread out training and match rookies with more buffed up fighters to get them experience and get the job done at the same time. It feels much more realistic, like a juggling act you'd have to do if you were a real commander. War of the Chosen is essentially a total conversion for XCOM 2. It's one that means this game will get many more playthroughs than it otherwise may have in the coming years. It's super clear Firaxis have listened to fans' feedback and essentially acted on as much as they can, throwing as many ideas into the pot and refining them to make the best XCOM experience there's ever been.
It's been an honor.